Hi and welcome to Shop RJ Pasini for great deals on eBay. Today I want to talk about my cleaning technique. Well, I call it a technique on how I get these things looking good for to put up on eBay. And also, if you have an existing product that's already listed and you want to make it a complete set, well, for example, with this Microsoft keyboard here, okay? The little story about this, I'll tell you about that in a second here, about the Dream Machine here. But with this here, I want to share this with you guys really quick. I had picked this up here. It's right now, it's still on eBay, and it's being sold as a keyboard with no receiver. Now, some people say, well, what's a receiver? I have a relative, I was talking about this the other day, and they go, what is a receiver? Well, they don't know about the computers and stuff like that. So, this person's much older too. So I told them, the receiver. This is the receiver. I don't mind my desk. I'm going to go over this stuff with you guys really quick. I know it's a little messy, but I want to share some stuff with you. This is a receiver, okay? And she's like, well, what does the receiver do? The receiver, in order for, let me move this mouse over here. In order for this mouse, this Microsoft mouse, and the keyboard to sync up or link up, you need this receiver, and it's a USB port one. It's for USB that goes into your USB port on your computer, okay? And what you do is you plug this in, and you will see it strobing back and forth. When it detects another wireless device, it'll sync up, it'll link into it, and then you're able to use it. Without this, this wireless mouse will not work, nor will this wireless keyboard won't work. Now, what I want to get over, I want to talk to you, so I hope you can stick around. This is going to be, I think it'll be a helpful video if you could stick around and hear me out, because I think you're going to get some pointers out of it. I think so anyway. So if you got the time, please stick around, because I want to share some stuff with you guys. I love sharing information, and if I can give you some good tips on how to become a better seller, I think you guys might want to stick around and check out this video, okay? And I'm hoping that after you check out this video, I hope you'll get a takeaway from it, and if you get a good enough takeaway from it, hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated when I post more videos like this, please hit that bell notification icon. Okay, so yes, this is a receiver, and I'm going to go over this with you in a second, but I want to tell you a little story about this. Now, yesterday, like I said again, I had this keyboard here that you see. It's right now, it's listed on eBay, so I gotta have to work fast. Well, somewhat fast. The reason why it's here, and if you look in the back there, I got the little table there with the display set up with my camera, the battery's being charged up. What I'm going to redo again, well, we're going to do with this one, is I'm going to reshoot this this keyboard along now with the receiver and the mouse to entice the, well, hopefully the buyer will get a better deal out of it, and hopefully it will make the buyer want to buy it, because now I'm going to be adding this to it, okay? What good is having a keyboard if you don't have the receiver, okay? So now anyway, long story short, I went into the thrift store, and I was looking, I said, if I can only find a receiver with the mouse, that'd be great, because now it's all wireless. Everybody likes that stuff. Lo and behold, I go there. This was hanging up in a bag together. I picked it up, untested, just like the keyboard was untested. And folks, I think I did a video about that. If you follow me, if you're a subscriber, you know what I'm talking about. I did a video about untested items. Everything and anything that I buy, when it's electronic, whether it's a Keurig coffee maker or a Farberware pot, guys, if you look at my listings, you look at my sold listings, you'll notice I sell quite a bit of them, okay? Not thousands, not hundreds of them, but I sold quite a bit. And those items are untested items, okay? So with that, I came across this, and I said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. As a matter of fact, I tested it out. I like it already, but I have a Logitech over here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I have a Logitech with the laser mouse. I like Logitech, and matter of fact, if you look over here on the lower part of the screen here, that is from the Logitech webcam. Okay, you can see the clarity, the true colors in here, as opposed to when I'm using the HP webcam. It's supposed to be a high definition, but I tell you the truth, if you look at the color, the colorization in the Logitech, which is the one over here, the bottom one, you can see it's a little more crisp, right? But I still, like I said, I still like my HP webcam up there. But this is nice. I'm looking at the colorization here. I really like it a lot. You're probably wondering why I do a split screen. The reason why is because sometimes if I don't hold an item up, you could see it on the lower screen. It gives you an idea of what I'm actually doing. So I want to go over some cleaning techniques with you guys, but I also want to go over this here and show you how I test that with the keyboard tester program and how I link everything up. I got to be careful because sometimes when you're doing these live videos and you're connecting your peripherals into your computer, it will knock off your webcam or the actual program itself. Okay, so then you're sitting there talking for a half hour. He's like, when you go back to do the editing on the software, he's like, oh my God, I just spent 40 minutes or whatever it is, and I got no video here. So I got to be very careful when it comes to doing things of that nature. Also, I also picked up this, which is a new mouse. You can see, so I got the plastic. It's an HP. It's a PS2. Okay, this is a PS2 mouse. Now, with the PS2 mouse, in order to test this out, I don't have the new computers. Well, at least mine don't. I have an HP. I have a whole HP layout over here. My computer does not have a PS2 connection on there. Okay, there's no adapter to connect it. I think you can still buy them if you got the slots to put in your computer. I don't, because my computer's a little newer, and therefore I don't have it. So what you have to do, if you're going to buy one of these, I didn't want to turn it. I said it's brand new. I didn't want to pass it up. Look, it's got the plastics on it still. Okay, so I didn't want to just pass it up. So I know I could test it out because I bought this. This here, you can see it here, folks. You see that there? Is called, it's a USB to PS2. What you want to do is, I'm not including this with this. I need this for testing. These range, the last time I think I bought this, I think this USB to PS2, I believe it cost me maybe around $10 or so. And actually I went to Micro Center, the place I bought. I was looking for this. I wanted an extra one, and I didn't see one there. So I don't know if you have to order it online, but very good to have. Very good to have if you're a seller of keyboards that require a PS2, to have PS2 connectors such as this. Okay, and the way you test this thing out is what you would do is they're color coded. Okay, green with green is the mouse. Okay, and you would do is you would plug it in like this here, without damaging the pins. You plug it in like this here, and then you could plug it into your USB port, okay, on your computer, which mine's in the front over here. So if I plug this in here, you'll hear a little audible sound, and that means it's good to go. Now, when I test the keyboards out, the wired keyboards, the same thing. That's where the purple one comes in. And they even used to have it, I don't know if they still have it on here, they'd have like a little indicator that's a keyboard. Doesn't matter, it's color coded. So if you're buying a Microsoft wired one or a Logitech, whatever, if it's the same color code, you would plug the keyboard in here, and the mouse is usually like this, I don't know, turquoise blue, whatever, light pink, blue, no, not pink, or light blue, like this here, or light, I don't know, green, like a light green, I don't know, I'm not good with the colors. But anyway, you would plug that in there and you could test out. This mouse has been tested already, okay? So I'm not going to plug this in right now and go into that there with you guys, but this is what you'll need. Pick it up if you get a chance. If you sell, like me, wired mouses and wired keyboards, people say, well, who wants wired these days? People still like them. I've sold wired keyboards and wired mouses. They still want them. So this is this little cable is what you're going to need, okay? You see what it looks like, guys? All right? And that's what you're looking for when you go. If you can order probably online. USB, you're going to look for USB to PS2. Okay? All right. And that's how you'll test that out. That's been tested. I'm not going to take too much time and show you how that's been tested. All right. So let me put this back in the bag again here. And then, if I can get it in here again. Okay. And then we're going to go with the other stuff I picked up recently. All right. So let's put this over here between being. Okay. We're going to leave this here because I want to show you this here. This we're going to leave on the side over here. As you can see over here, there's a portrait there. It's a sketch of Princess Diana. I picked that yesterday at the thrift store. I was looking them up. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to have the diamond in the rough, folks. I'm not going to say. This here, okay, it's roughly, I think it's 10 this way and 14 down. It might be a little bigger. I was looking at these here, and the prices on them, there are people asking ridiculous prices. I am not going to probably get a price like theirs. I seen one going for $19,000. Not this one, but they had them on it. You know, they were all ranged $1,300, $1,200, $300, $50, $30, whatever. I don't have a price point on this one here. Just to let you guys know, I don't have a price point, so I don't know what it's going to be. But this was part of the lot I picked up yesterday. Okay, so I picked that up. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to. I got to take pictures. This stuff that I'm showing you now is not on eBay. Okay, it's this is stuff I picked up yesterday, so I'm gonna I got to take pictures again. Well, of this anyway, the keyboard, and I got some little stuff I picked up. So let's go over the stuff I picked up really quick. This here is a Sony Walkman, right? It's a little TV, okay, and you plug it in here. I put batteries, and it takes 4 batteries, and when you turn this little button up here, you'll get the screen of it. Now, you might say, who's going to buy this here? It's not bringing in a single. I don't know. I picked it up. I got it really cheap enough, and I also, to make a better sale, hopefully make a better sale. Say you turn it up, it's got the UHF and VHF here. Okay, either one, you're not getting any channels with it, but and then you could also do the contrast. This is the contrast button there. I don't know if you can see it there. You're not going to really get, there's no singles that come in. Now you might say, well, why did I buy this for? You know, why did I buy this? Well, you know, for something, folks, there are people out there that collect stuff like this here. Okay, they like Sony products. They might want to buy it. I don't know. It's a keepsake. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I picked it up. I got it for a good price, and you know, this is going to be up on eBay. I am not going to sell it with batteries for the simple reason is, as a lot of you may know, and for yourself, you might want to keep this as a mental note to yourself. When you're selling these items, if you include the batteries with it, remember what I tell you, folks. For those who follow me, ounces turn to pounds. Who's going to be paying for the shipping? The buyer. And therefore, when something's too high in shipping costs, you may turn the buyer off. Seriously, with no kidding aside. You know, if I sell it like this with all the batteries in there, it's going to create a lot of weight. Believe it or not, you might say, "Nah, how much weight?" Ounces turn to pounds. Remember that. I only put these batteries in here just to test it out to see if it works with batteries and to entice the buyer. I say entice, I'm just not in a bad way. To make the sweeten the deal up, whatever. I'm also including this Sony. See it there? You probably see it better on this on the Logitech webcam. It's a Sony AC power adapter. Okay, it's 5 volt. Okay, I matched it up with this here. It's supposed to be 5 volt. Let me make sure now. Yep, I can see it. Well, it's 4.5. Yeah. Anyway, this unit takes a 5 volt, but this one here, I always say when it comes to voltage, if you're going to pair something up, it's better to go a little lower than higher, because if you go any higher, you might fry the system out. So this one here will connect. It is a Sony one, and it will connect, and it will be noted. It will be noted in the description that this here is not the original adapter. You know, and I have to explain that the unit requires a 5 volt, but I have a Sony AC adapter that's 4.5 volt. Okay. And I will take pictures and stuff like that, and you know, for the buyer, I always leave it up to the buyer to make that buying decision. Okay, but I'm going to include this and this with. Now you're probably saying, wait, you're talking about not giving batteries because of the weight, but you're going to include a heavier AC adapter. True, but you understand something. Some people may not want to use batteries, or they may have them at their own. You know, they may have them at home. Now, for the simple reason is, if I do it the way I want to do it, it'll still come out a little cheaper, because if I add the 4 batteries and I add this, it's going to increase it. The weight, it's going to be a lot greater than a pound too, if you put the two together. I'm talking about, like I said, with ounces. So you always got to weigh out the situation. Now, I don't have to sell this thing with, this tier item with this. I could sell this separately and get probably more money for it. Okay, these ain't going for a lot of money, but the only reason why I picked it up is because I got it for a good price. Again, people may say, well, if it doesn't bring in TV singles, what good is it? Again, somebody might want to collect it. I don't know. They may like this thing. Maybe somebody's out there. Maybe somebody is out there looking for one of these things. I don't know. Maybe they know how to make it work. I don't know. I'm not a technician, so. But I get, I'm toying around with the idea. But right now, the way it looks, I'm probably going to pair them together. I'm thinking about this here, just to sweeten the deal up and hopefully make a better sale with it. So we'll see. Okay, let's put this back over here for now. I picked up this here. This is an image. Now doesn't say the word Viewmaster on it. It's a 3D. These things, if you can come across the red ones, the vintage red ones like this here, they're going for decent money. Not a lot, but decent. Okay. I got one really ridiculous, and I sold it for a good price. However, this says Image 3D on it. See, can you see that? It says Image 3D, and on the back over here, I forgot to get that little piece there. Okay. Now I left the little. I think I left the little cleanser on here. That's okay. It says over here, made in the USA. Yeah, I gotta go show you. I'm gonna show you how we clean this up anyway. Well, you can't probably see it there, but it'll say all the way in the bottom right there. If you can see that, it says made in USA. All right, and I'm gonna put that in the listing. Made in USA. All right. So that was one thing I picked up. I also picked up this camera with the case. All right. Got this thing in for a decent price too. This is a Nikon one-touch camera. 35 millimeter. They're selling for crazy prices, decent prices, okay? All right, for what I got it for and what I could sell it for, I think I'll make a decent profit on it. Not going to be rich off it, but it is clean. It is a 35 millimeter. If I can open this up here. I don't want to break it. Oh, you know what? Oh, here we go. It's pretty clean inside, as you can see, right? 35 millimeter. Now, again, I know people probably ask the question, why would anybody want to buy a 35 millimeter? People do. They buy them. I seen them. I seen them on the sold thing. But that's another thing too. Before, at the end of the video, I want to go into my iPhone, and I want to show you on eBay app how to look for sold items versus looking for items that are being listed on eBay. Don't always, when it comes to picking things up like this here and you're doing your research on your eBay app, don't always look at when you go there and do a search and they come up and look at what people are selling them for. Because folks, people who sell these items, you could put any price you want in there. It's the buyer, it's going to give you what they feel it's worth. Okay, that's why I say in marketing, everything holds its own market. Everything will find its true market value. I could put this in for $300. Okay, I'm just throwing a number out there, and someone might say, "I'll give you $150 for it." That's what they feel it's worth. So don't go by that. When I'm going to show you the app, I'm going to, after this, if I don't forget, hopefully I don't forget, I'm going to go in there. I want to show you. So I hope you can stick around to the end. I'm going to put that in the end. And I'm going to show you the right way to look things up when it comes to check sold listings. Now, for those of you who are avid sellers, like myself, I've been on eBay for over 20 years. Not that it makes a difference. I'm not an eBay guru by any means. Okay, I come on here. I do this. I do my YouTube channel here with the intentions to help people out, to give good pointers and help them out. To help you guys out. Okay, to give good tips and stuff like that. And I hope you, like I said again, I hope you guys get a takeaway from it. I hope you could stick around to the end, because I think the information you are gonna get something out of it. I know that. Even if it's a little tidbit information, you're gonna get something out of it. So yeah, this one here, I looked it up, and again, they're going for different prices, and I know I'll definitely get the money back. And here's the other thing I want to say too, folks. When it comes to buying items like this here, okay, when you're buying items of this, if you really need the money that bad, let's say you invest in it, let's say this cost me $10. Okay, I don't always disclose what I buy these things for, because I said in my other videos once before, and I don't want to rehash it again. At least get the money back for this if you feel that you need the money and you can't hold out any longer. You got bills coming in, and this little extra $10, whatever it is, whatever it costs, is you're going to need every dollar you can get, because those monthly bills come in. You can't sit on this thing for weeks or months. Sometimes I have stuff I sit on for months and almost years in some cases, right? And some people say, well, whole years, yeah. And I'm not the only one, because I've been on sellers that have YouTube channels will talk about, I had this on for 2 years, it finally sold, because it's good to cancel. It keeps relisting. So my little point is with this, my little tip to this, buying stuff like this, if you feel that it's taken too long, or you didn't, let's say you didn't price it right, or you priced it at you gave it a price that you feel it's worth, do your research. Like I always say, when it comes to pricing items, I do my research, I look at who's got the highest, who's got the lowest, and I try to stay in between. Now you might say, well, that's a no-brainer, the person's got the lowest. Yeah, but that person who got it at the lowest, it may have been given to him as a gift, a gift, or someone may not have given it. Sometimes I have relatives that give me things they don't want, and I could afford to go beat the person, the competition, because I got it for nothing. So you gotta weigh these things out when it comes to pricing, okay? But the most important thing is, for those of us like me, I go to thrift stores to get my stuff. At least get the money you paid for it, okay? At least get that, all right? And this comes with a case. This is not a Nikon case. It doesn't have any markings with Nikon. Nope, it doesn't have a Nikon. Maybe it is. I don't know. It says NC on there. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have to look it up. But it came with a nice case. So this is, just in case you guys are wondering, it's a Nikon One Touch. Now I know a lot of you are right. Let me go look that up and see what it sells for. It's probably not going to get much for it, but you know what? If I make a profit, you know, my father, God rest his soul, had a saying, slow nickels bring in fast dimes. I have a relative that sells on eBay. And this person will not buy things if you're going to make a small profit. I mean, me, I do just the opposite. I wing it. I take it's like I remember I was a relative of mine, and I don't know what it was. There was a Sony camera. It was one of those like not a commercial, like one like a professional use, and it was in a thrift store, and I don't know how much it was going for. And the person, my cousin's like, I'm not going to buy it. You know, I'm not going to buy it. Why? It's too much money and stuff. You're not going to make money off it. The next day, I went there to the thrift store. He left it. I didn't pick it up either because I was a little doubtful at the time. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the thrift store and I'm going to pick it up, even if I had to pay full price. It just happened to work out. It was a half off price day. I got the item for half price, and I ended up selling the thing 3 times for what I paid for it. Okay, so sometimes, you know, you got to wing it. All right, you got to wing it sometimes. You got to say, well, you know, I'm going for the gusto. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to wing it. You got to know when to, like that saying, when you're playing cards, you got to know when to fold them. And maybe some people say, well, now's not the time to fold them. Probably not. With the way things are going today, with the way the economy's going and everything's going up, this is going up, that's going up. You know, you may have a slow peak in your eBay business. Now, the information I'm putting out here, or just to let you guys know, the information I'm sharing with you guys right now is for the newbie seller, the newbie eBay seller, okay? You may be thinking about it. You probably hit my channel because you're probably saying, you know what? Let me see what this guy's all about. He talks about helping people sell on eBay and become better sellers. Let me see what he's all about. So this video here is poised or geared towards the new eBay seller. If you're an avid seller, you may pick up another tip from me. I don't know. You may. You know, I may be doing something different than you. You may be doing something different than I. It doesn't hurt to get a little information from everywhere. You take a little tidbit of information and you put them all together and you make your own final decisions as to what you want to do. Okay? Now, before I get into this stuff here with the mouse and stuff like that, how to link it up, I want to talk about this here. What you can see right now on the screen is this Sony Dream Machine. Now, sometimes I go the extra mile for my buyers or potential buyers. I was looking at these here online. They don't go for a lot, okay? They don't go for a lot of money. But I have a duster, electric duster, you know, like the air dusters that you buy in the cans, aerosol cans. I have an electric air duster. It's very powerful. It's pretty powerful. Actually, it is pretty powerful. You could use it as a leaf blower. That's how powerful this thing is. Okay? Now, I was looking at the other sellers that are selling these here, right? Over here, the glass, when you look at the photos, when they take the pictures, you can see all dust in here. You can see dust in here, seriously. So you know what I did? I have that electric duster, and sometimes you got to take a little time, but it's all about optics. What the potential buyer is going to see with your listing as opposed to another seller's listing. In other words, you go that extra mile. Now, I'm not telling you guys you're all going to do what I do. There are 6 Phillips head screws over here on the back of the plate here, right? What I did was I took them all very gently, you know, lifted up, you know, had the stuff in it. I put everything in a little cup there so it doesn't lose the screws. And I lifted this up very gently. I took my blower, the duster, and I did it on the low speed because, you know, I don't want it damaging components. And I forgot to show you one other thing I used it there with me for 1 second. Here we go. Oops, I just tried this flashlight. Sorry about that, guys. Unprepared today. No, I'm only kidding. What I did was I took this here. This is just another tip, okay? Another tip for you guys. This here is a cosmetic woman's brush. Well, it's new, of course. Yeah, with powder. You want to get a new one. Don't you one that has kind of powder on it, whatever, you know, makeup powder. And what I did was I took off this here. I took the duster and I blew the dust outside, of course. And I dusted out in here. And the chassis itself, you know, I shot the dust in here. Now, the motherboard in here, or the keyboard, you know, not the keyboard, the motherboard in here that has all the components on it, you want to be very careful with this here. You don't want to use a bristle, like a hard bristle brush or anything of that nature, because you can move the little crystals and diodes and transistors in it. You want to be very careful. This is very soft. It's very soft. And once I blew out everything, I put on low sync, because again, I don't know, the electric dust I have is pretty powerful. I'm not saying it would have damaged anything, but I didn't want to go that route. So I took this here. It's a cosmetic brush. And what you do is if you're going to, I know a lot of you may not, I'm telling you for the ones that do, will make that commitment, take one of these and go very gently on it. It will not damage any components and it won't ruin anything. It won't pull. You don't want something that's going to pull the transistor or diode or crystal or whatever. You want something very light. And this here is very gentle, and I just went in the inside, not here, on the outside, but inside where the chassis is, where all the components are, and I just went over very gently to remove any dust. It did have dust in it, okay? Now, with that, once I took that out, I had this off now. Now, this is exposed. I took window cleaner, and I went over it a couple times. If you look at my listing on eBay, I'm not saying all the other ones, but on mine, you will notice this is nice and clean. This was dusty, and it bothered me. And I said, you know what? I can't, for the love of it, I can't put it up there like that with the dust in it. It's driving me crazy. You know, it just does. So anyway, that's the story with this here. And also, if you look over here, you see pictures here. Let me show you really quick how I am. If you look where my mouse is over here, I was taking pictures. You see a little speck of dust there and over here. And I didn't, mine just was cleaned over here, over here. I went through them. I said, oh my gosh. I said, look at this. I said, the picture's not too bad. I don't have the greatest camera. I have a Sony Cybershot, but it's an older one, but it works. It does the job. And I look, I said, oh, there's a speck over there in this one too. I thought maybe it might have blown away, whatever. And then I said, so then I go, oh, okay, this one looks good. And I'm looking at, oh, look at over here now with my mouse. I said, oh my gosh. I go, I got to shoot another one. So I did another one like that. You know, I wear glasses for reading. And I have a little, on my cameras, the screen's only this big. It's small. I don't have the bigger, the bigger screen. Same thing. I said, no. I did it 3 times. I had to shoot it. So finally, when I did, I got it to this point, and I said, it looks okay. And then there was a point that said, okay, it looks good. It's going to stay there, right? And that's where I got this photo, which looks pretty decent over here. Looks pretty good to me. Outside of a little imperfection up there, I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I had to shoot it a couple times. This here is in an imperfection. That there's within the speaker grill area. There's nothing I could do about that. That's not dust. And like I said again, I had to shoot it a couple times to get it to where I wanted it to look good. And I also wanted people to see that this particular Dream Machine from Sony has the actual dates on it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look at this. I never seen a clock like that, digital clock. Okay? And it says FM, AM, PLL, synthesized clock radio. And if you are interested, it is on eBay, just to let you know. Oh, he's probably saying, oh, he's giving a segue already. No, but I'm just telling you, it's on eBay right now. Okay? So, yeah, eventually, that's what I did. And I was very happy with the picture. I uploaded it. I had to shoot it, take the shot of photos 3 times to make sure there was no dust in there whatsoever. Now, I probably said, oh, it looks like a little dust there. I don't. But for the most part, it came out a lot better than the other ones. Okay? Now, getting back to what else I want to tell you guys. Oh, the cleaning part. Yeah, when it comes to cleaning components, if you look over here, I got quite a bit of rags here. We're going to get to this in a little bit. I have toothpaste here. I know you guys are saying, what in the good gospel's name does this guy use with toothpaste? Well, toothpaste, believe it or not, is a mild abrasive, and it's very good when it comes to cleaning certain plastic pieces. For example, this had like a little marking on here, and on the sides, I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty shiny. I use the toothpaste, very little dab on there, and you buff it in, it'll buff a nice shine in there. I don't know if you can see that there. Okay. Now, and I also keep 2 types of toothbrushes here. One's a little coarse and one's a little soft. I think it's the soft one. You get these at the dollar store, brand new. People, I don't know, people, I wouldn't use any used ones, but these are a little disheveled because of a long-term use. But the thing is, you probably, what is the toothbrushes for? The toothbrushes are for when I clean with the toothpaste, whatever. If there's dirt that goes in there, in the crevices, see over here, like along the crevices here, you want to get that out. Okay, you want to get that out. This one had some stuff on there, little dust or something caked up in there, and I took the toothbrush, cleaned it out, and after I did that there, I always give it the once over, because this is I got to take pictures of it. And if I see little dust, little minute dust will drive me crazy. That's the way I am. And if I see it, I will shoot the picture over and over again. I will, until it comes out perfect. Anyway, that's what the toothpaste is for. It's good for taking out smudges. There was a little marking over here on this little thing. Oops, on the little, you can see it here. Well, you can't. There was a little marking up here. I used the toothpaste just to rub out there and make it a little shinier, and it took it out. Now there's a little mark over here I got to use, like, I don't know if you guys can see. See like this little smudge there, guys? Can you see that smudge? Maybe not. Right there. See it right there? There you go. Now, this is where the toothpaste would come in. Take it. Buy toothpaste at the dollar store, wherever you get it, and keep it specifically for your eBay stuff. I'm not saying if you run out of toothpaste and you use it, it's going to mess up. You're not going to, but I'm just saying. But anyway, what you want to do is just take a little dab like that. Not much. Just like that on your finger. See that there? Okay. And what you want to do is, where that smudge part was, I showed you guys. You see it over here. Well, if you can see it, I showed you just before. You just want to put it on there. It looks like it's adhesive on there, right? It looks like a little adhesive. Rub it in with your finger like that. Won't damage the plastic. Rub it in a little like that. Get yourself a this is an old used towel, but it's got that nice feel to it. It's got that thickness for you. It's a rag, but a clean one, of course. And what you want to do is just rub it gently, okay? And you want to get that out. You want to buff that out into a shine, and you want to remove that adhesive, okay? So like this here. It's going to take a little elbow grease, to rub it out. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm glad in the way it's there. This way I can show you what it does. Okay, bear with me for 1 second. I can see it's already looking good. It's a little adhesive. That's what it was. And look at it now. Remember before you seen the smudge? It was right on this side. You remember it was there? It's gone. Look. Okay. Now, see this little thing here? It's a little plastic thing. I don't know. It was for something. I don't know. And what I did is I shaved it down to remove certain things. This was it. The mouse. This mouse here. It might have been this mouse. One of these things had something like. Oh no. I'm sorry. It was this. This had something like a something hard on it. Not hard, but it looked like somebody put candy or something was sticky. At first I said, if I'm very gentle, I could use a razor blade and just skim off the top. I said, no good. Plastic on plastic is better, because plastic, in some cases, now some people beg to differ, won't scratch. So what I did is I took this little piece of plastic, I don't know what it was from, and I just, like that, plastic on plastic, and I took it off, and the thing came out. Well, you didn't see the before and after. Trust me. And it looked like it was like Canoff was kicked up candy, whatever it was something on there. And I thought, I said, and it was a little stubborn coming off, because I used a sponge with the Scotch-Brite on it. Now, here's the thing with the Scotch-Brite. Be careful when it comes to using this with cleansing, when cleaning. Okay, and I'm going to go over that in a second. But anyway, plastic on plastic with certain things won't scratch. So that's why I use it. Now, if I use the razor blade and I didn't do it right, I could cut a piece of the plastic off there, put a scratch in there, and now you got a scratch on it. Plastic on plastic, it's okay. Well, for me it is. Okay, this is my technique. Now, you guys may bake the difference. Say, geez, I don't know if I would do that, but that's up to you. But I've been doing it like this for a long, long time, folks, and never had a problem with it. Okay? And then later on, once I get it there, if there's still a little mark on there, a little residue, I would just take this here, and here's my cleanser of choice. Right? With ammonia in it. And I put a little on the thing here, spritz a little on here, on the Scotch-Brite part, right? Little dab will do you. So. And where it was over here, I just go very gently, not like that, not too much elbow, very gently. Go like that. You're going to get a little shine on it. Take a rag, a semi-clean. Well, these rags have been, I already did this already, but that's how I clean. I'm just sharing tips on how I clean, okay? And then again, if you still have a little thing there, that's when you take the toothpaste, and then you give it a little light with the toothpaste, just like I did with the other thing there, with that, the V-Finder, and rub it in very gently, and then go over very lightly. And here's the other tip, very important, so please pay attention when it comes to this. On the screen, don't go with the Scotch-Brite part here. You will scratch the screen up. Don't do it. I didn't do it on that either. That's why, look at the picture. It looks nice. It's got very little. The photos could be a little deceiving because the photos don't show everything, but there are little light scuff, but that's not from me. That's the way I got it from the thrift store. But this here, you can see the screen is pretty clean, right? With no really streaks on it, right? If I put this on here, even if I put a little liquid on there to clean it up, you're going to get probably fine scratches. Now, if it's glass, this feels like glass, you may get away with it. Don't trust it though, because sometimes it might look like glass, and the next thing you know, it's a thick plastic, whatever, and the next thing you know, you look like, oh my God, I just scratched it up. And then you got to put that in your listing. The glass, you're going to put dear buyer, please note, like I always put, please note, dear buyer, or whatever. No, please don't put dear buyer. Please note there is a scratch on the face of the Sony Walkman, which there ain't. But then you have to let them know, because I'm an upfront and honest seller. I tell every little detail. Okay, so that's what happens there. If you're going to do it, that's it. And the other tip is, when it comes to, let's get this guy over here. I also clean the strap. You're probably wondering how I did that there. Well, I take a sponge like this here, and I take this cleanser here, and I spritz it on here. Right, I make sure it's really the sponge is really loaded up, and I'll do one of these things here like that a couple times. Thank God the strap wasn't dirty. Okay, it didn't have really dirt on it. A little dust, but it wasn't like grimy. So this has got a clean strap. Okay, that over there. The other thing is when it comes to these type of items, like this. See the wording here, Microsoft. On this particular, this is like, this can scratch off. It could. You could wear it right off if you use a toothpaste. Now, how I clean this is, again, took a little dab of toothpaste because it had little markings on it, and I just rubbed the top of it like this. Just give it a little light rub. I did not put the toothpaste on the lettering itself. I didn't. I stood away from it. And then when it came to buffing out the shine, I went around it like this, circular motions, and if there was any that one on the bottom, again, I would go away from the lettering. Stay away from the lettering when you're doing it. Stay away from it. Go above it or below it, but don't go on the lettering. And then when you're giving your final cleaning, if you're going to use, like, again, the cleanser there, the window cleaner, then go very gently. Don't put the toothpaste on any wording when it comes to cleaning. You will wear this off. Okay, I'm just sharing this with you guys. Just a tip. Like I said, I put the information out there. What you guys take away from is what you got to take away from. The mouse too. Whoopsie, good boy. Okay, well, didn't fall that hard. This guy here, I had a little marks on it. Like I said, I cleaned it up really good. It had a little grime. Like I said, I keep two brushes. One's a soft one, one's a hard one. And basically, you want to do is just go like this. Same thing. When you got the wording here again, stay away from it. Okay, on this and that. And when it comes to keyboards, if you're going to give it the once over, especially this. Now, I will tell you this. I will share this with you. Okay, so please listen. These things here are painted. Well, to me, they are anyway. They must have a light paint on them. Well, that's what I figured anyway. When I was putting the toothpaste on here to take off, they had like a little marks on here. Just, I wanted to make it perfect. I noticed a little of the paint was wearing off. Thank God it didn't wear off enough where you would see a blotch spot there. Okay? When I noticed it, I did it very lightly, and I said, uh-oh, it's taken off a little of the paint. You don't want to do that anymore. Thank God I did it very lightly and gentle. When I did it, I went very gentle with the toothpaste. And I looked, I said, oh, that's not good. So I took off whatever it was there with the clean rag, put the little cleanser on it, the window cleaner. I took off any residue there, and I said, no more rubbing. You don't want to rub it anymore, because you're going to get rubbing, you're going to get fade spots. And again, then you got to put that in the listing. Nice keyboard, but it's got fade spots. So you got to be careful with that, okay? Now, the other thing I want to share with you really quick, okay? I told you about how to test this out, okay? I told you how to test this out using this cable thing here, the USB to PS2. That's how you test out these when you come across them. If you're going to sell wired mouses, that's the other tip. Here's the other tip. When you're buying these mouses, new or pre-owned, listen very closely. I'm going to go near the mic. Do you hear that? Same thing with this one. You hear the clicking? I hope you can hear that. I got the air conditioner in the back. Make sure you hear the clicking. If you don't, if one's like in a closed position, chances are it's not going to work, or it could be stuck. You may say, well, I'll take a chance on, maybe I can take it apart and maybe I can unfreeze it, and stick it, whatever. That's your call, not mine. Okay? When I see it like that, when I picked this one up, it was hanging up at a thrift store, even though it's new, it's still got the paper on it, I would go, I could hear the nice click. Here, let's see. Nice fresh click like that, you know it's going to work. Okay? That's another tip. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, I'll clean this stuff up later. Remember, try to stick around for the end because I want to show you that thing about how to, how to look up sold items the right way. Okay. Put this over here for now. Work is never done when you're doing this type of business. It's going on 1 o'clock over here, 1 p.m. over here in the East Coast of New York. Because then I got to take pictures of the stuff and, put it up and do all the research again on and see. It's a price you pay if you want to be in this business. All right. First things first. Other tip: when it comes to wireless keyboards, and it's for wireless keyboards and mouses. Okay, remember this here, folks. I sold a wireless mouse and keyboard to some buyer a while back. I can't get it to work; it won't connect. And I messaged the buyer back. I said, "Excuse me, did you put fresh, clean, new batteries in there?" "No, I didn't. I had ones around." Well, I have a tester, and I recommend you buy it again if you are a seller on eBay. I got this at Walmart. I think I paid, $2 or $3, no, about $3, maybe close to $4, maybe $3.99, whatever it was at Walmart. Test out your batteries. Okay, if they're in the full, if they're in the green, which says good, use them. If they're low, toss them. Plain and simple. Okay? These wireless keyboards will not work properly if they got weak to low batteries. Same thing with this. Now, I have a Logitech. As much as I like this Microsoft keyboard, I like my Logitech. There's a software program that runs with the Logitech keyboard. This is my Logitech keyboard, if you guys ever seen it before. A little dusty here. So I got dusting. I got to clean this. And very careful with it. This here is a Logitech keyboard. I love it. And I got this mouse with the receiver. Okay? I love them. As much as I like that Microsoft keyboard too, this is my baby. Okay? I like it. It's slimmer. If you look at the two in comparison, one, whoops, how is it there? One's thicker and slimmer, and the other one's a little, because you got the padding. Anyway, I want to put it down before I drop it here. But I love this thing. But you know what I like about it too? It's got a button over here. You see that? Which says it's like a green light there. That's letting you know the battery's good. Now Logitech has a software. I don't know. Maybe Microsoft has it too. Logitech has a software program that's embedded that you could upload in your system, and you will get notifications of your battery running low in the mouse and on the keyboard. And they also have an indicator. Let alone they have that on there like a notification. They also have it where this will turn red. When it turns red on this Logitech, when it turns red, low battery. When it blinks on your keyboard, low battery, it's telling you to change it. And then it also has a software, an alert, like that tells you the battery alert. I set it up like that, where if the battery's running low, I get a notification on my keyboard, on my terminal here. Okay, all right. That's tip number one when it comes to that there. Use fresh batteries when it comes to connecting wireless peripherals. Okay, and I tested the batteries. I have batteries and open pack batteries, and even though they're open, sometimes they get a little weak. These happen to be pretty decent batteries, so they still hold the charge. It's still in the green. Still on the green. They're still in the green. What you want to do is when you get them, now I'm hoping it doesn't knock my system off. You're going to plug this into your USB port. This is the receiver. Okay? You're going to plug this in here, and you're going to get an audible sound. That means it's making contact with the computer. Okay. And by the way, that noise is a little different than the operating system, Windows 10. This upgraded to Windows 11, so there's a little different audible sound in there. Okay. Once you get that connected there's a connect button right over here. I don't know if you can see. It's a little connect button. You're going to push that in. But wait, let me just do something here really quick here. I wanted to show you something here. When you hit this button here, you'll notice it's going to strobe. See, it's going back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's going back and forth. Okay. All right. Now, once this is over here, keep it in a somewhat close proximity. The mouse also has a connect button. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to hit that reset button there. Okay. Now let's see if the mouse is connected here. Oh, there it is. Okay, you can see it on the screen, and here it's moving. I'm going to move this way just to prove it so you ain't no smoke and mirrors here. You can see the mouse is moving. Okay. Thank God didn't knock my webcam off, or else then I'd be losing signal here. Okay. Now the keyboard. You want to test the keyboard out? There's a way you do it. There's two ways you could actually test it out. If you go into here, I might get blanked out for a second here. Microsoft Word. Yep, I got blanked out here. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. There we go. Oops, hold on. Like that. And like that. You could X this out. And now it automatically synced up. Now, if you do have a problem with it, don't sync up. Where you say, geez, I plugged it in but didn't. This did it automatically. Remember the connect button here? Hit the reset, hit the connect button. If it still doesn't, pull out the receiver, the USB receiver from your computer, let it reestablish the link within the computer. Once that's done, hit the button here. I don't want to do it again because it might knock it off. Once you do that, hit this button again, it'll strobe, and then hopefully, for most naturally, it's going to pick up on both. And you can see my hands moving. This is the Microsoft mouse I'm using, okay, because I put my Logitech one over here. I do that there because I don't want people to think I'm trying to, make magic here, like, smoke and mirrors type of thing. So here you have it like this, and you can see this here moving around, and everything is going here, and everything somewhat is functional. Well, to me, it's functional. Okay. So once you get that there, that's one way of testing it out. If you want to save it, no, of course you don't want to save it. It's garbage. We'll get rid of that. There's another way of testing it out. It's called Keyboard Tester. I use the Keyboard Tester because I do sell keyboards. Not tons of them, but I do sell them. If you look on eBay, you'll see a Logitech. I think I have a couple. Well, this is going to be up there. The Microsoft. Might be another Microsoft, I think. Don't quote me on it. So what you want to do is with the Keyboard Tester, and how you get to the Keyboard Tester, just to give you a link to throw it out there, it's www.keyboardtester.com. When you do that, it's going to bring you to this window here. Okay? Let's go back to, all right, we'll leave it like this for now. And what basically you want to do, I'm not going to go through all the keys either, don't worry, okay? Because I want to finish up this. I want to show you before I close out how to look up a thing properly to get the actual sold price on here. So what you're going to do is just like this, okay? They'll all turn green, and you could go like this, and you could, now I don't want to do too much because it will knock my screen off. If I hit this, if I start hitting the F function keys, the F1 keys, it will knock me off, okay? And you could just, and everything you type in, as long as it shows up green, it's good. Okay, that's the Keyboard Tester. Okay, like I said again, there's another way to do it. If you don't have the Keyboard Tester, I didn't know about it until later on. I found out from another seller. That's when I started. Well, let me use this here. And then when you finish, you could also, let's say let me reset it and I want to try it again. You hit the reset button and you could do the testing again, the Keyboard Tester. Okay, all right. So now I gave you a little idea on how to set up the keyboard and the mouse, okay, on the wireless. Remember one thing, when it comes to wireless devices, a word to the wise, put brand new, this takes 2 AA batteries, this takes 2 AA batteries. Invest in a pack of Duracell, whatever one you feel, ever ready, whatever. If you're going to get a wireless device, if you're going to buy this from me, it will give me a time to put it up. Maybe I'll take the pictures right away because it is up on eBay now. It's like this without the receiver. If you are interested in this keyboard here with the mouse and receiver, and you get it, please put brand new batteries. I don't supply the batteries. Again, for the simple reason is it's going to cost you more money to, when it comes to shipping stuff out. Okay, you're the one that's going to be paying the shipping costs, not me. Okay, so remember that. If you are interested in this keyboard here, and there's the whole ensemble here with the mouse and the receiver and the keyboard, it will be up on eBay. I'm gonna have to ante up the price, of course, because I'm not gonna sell for what I have a different price because I was just selling this. So I will have to increase the price on here because now I'm adding the other peripherals to it. So it will be up on eBay. Check it out, and it will be with best offer. It will be with a discounted price, stuff like that. Please, anything I put up there, folks, on eBay, I am, just like you guys. You want to make a living, you want to make a profit and stuff like that. Keep it reasonable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be fair about this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had somebody the other day offer me for an item I was selling for $10, offered me $5, and I said at first I was going to decline it, and I said no, let me counter, let me see. I don't want to be just dismiss them because you could be dismissing a sale. You really, literally. So I messaged back the person. I made a counter. I said the best I could do is 10, and I didn't hear anything from the person. Then next thing you know, I hear cha-ching. I look at it. I opened with the little sign there from the little notification thing there from eBay, and lo and behold, he bought. He goes, I accept that price. I thank you very much, and I shipped it out yesterday. So you don't always want to dismiss people. Sometimes people are out there, what they're trying to save every nickel and dime. Myself, I consider myself a frugal entrepreneur. I do. I mean, if I could get something and do it on the cheap, I will do it to save that extra dollar or two, whatever it is. Look, everything counts today. You know what I'm saying? The cost of living's going up, gas is going up, food is going up. So if you could save that extra $2, $3, $4, why not, right? I don't mind working with my buyers. Now, I don't know if I told you the story. I might have told you the story. Maybe I did. If you have heard it again, I do apologize for repeating myself. But for the newbies who are hitting this channel for the first time, I try to be how can I say it? Well, I'm loyal to my subscribers. I'm also loyal to my subscribers, but also loyal to my buyers. And I want to give them the best price possible, okay? And the person had messaged me, I think I read it, and the person said, would you accept $50? I don't know what it was for. It might have been for one of those coffee Keurigs. And I said, I'm on a budget, and could you include the shipping with it? So rather than say, no, I can't, I mean, I have compassion for people because I know everybody's trying to save a dollar and trying to, get the best, you get the more bang for the buck, so to speak. So I messaged the buyer back. I said, yeah, I could do that for you, And I mean, I know I can got more money for it, but I didn't, money, I'm not saying, it's not everything, but I wanted to do right by the buyer. I understand where they're coming from. So if I can give good deals, but at the same time make something off of it, why not? I don't want people to take advantage of me because they say, well, this guy is really easygoing. He'll practically give it to you for nothing. But I do work with my buyers on occasion like that. Sometimes I get buyers that say, can you do anything? Can you do better on the shipping? The shipping I have no control over, folks. I have no control over that. When I weigh up the items, I put them out, I list them on eBay and stuff like that. It also goes by zones, folks. If you live on the West Coast, I notice like if I sell stuff in Las Vegas or California, it goes by zones. If the cost goes up much more money, then like if I'm selling to somebody in New York, it's a little cheaper. But it depends where they're in New York. If they're in Albany, New York, or Schenectady, or whatever, in different parts of New York, because New York is a pretty decent-sized state. I mean, I'm in the suburbs of Long Island, of New York. I'm not in Manhattan. No, I could never afford to live in Manhattan. But, the further north you go up, it may be a difference in price. It may be more, it may be less, But like in my geographic area here, if I was to sell something like this here, let's say where I am in the island, and somebody's a couple towns over, it may cost $10 to ship these three components out. Whereas opposed to somebody that lives in California, it might cost $15 or $16. They go by zones, okay? And that's why it's very important for me. Well, that's why I can't stress enough for people when I put things up for listings and I put on my YouTube channel here. I don't include batteries for the simple reason is ounces turn to pounds. I tried it this morning. I was shipping something out. It was a little coffee pot. A person bought it yesterday from me, and I shipped it out this morning. And it was 2 pounds. Was it no? What was it? No, it was more than that. I think it might have been 5 pounds, 3 ounces. So I figured, I'm on eBay's system there where they, you can print out your postage. So I said, look, let me type in 5 pounds, 3 ounces. So I typed it in. First I looked at it beforehand because it said 6 I think it said 6 pounds, something like that. So I put in, well, first I see the price with the 6 pounds, right? And it gives you the price, the total price. Let's say it was $7 to ship it out. So I said, okay, let's try it now with ounces and pounds. So I put 5 pounds, 4 ounces. It came to the same price. So they rounded off. The post office will round off the ounces to pounds. So that's what I'm saying. Ounces turn to pounds. And if you don't believe me, experiment one day. If you're a seller, if you're a newbie, get something there. Get it. Do it one weight. One weight on there. Let's say it was 5 pounds, and add that 2 ounces to it, and watch how the price shoots up. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does go up, and then there's times it don't. Like I also had that happen too. Sometimes I'll put something, let's say 5 pounds, 4 ounces, and it may be the same price. You'll see what I'm talking about as time goes on. Now you might try to say, geez, I did that. I never noticed anything like that. It doesn't do it all the time. It doesn't do it all the time. I don't know if it's with the zones or whatever it is, it's maybe the geographic area, but I experienced that too. Like if I'm doing something, let's say, like I said again, let's say it's 4 pounds, 4 ounces, right? And then I'll say, well, okay, let me round it off to maybe 4 pounds. Let's make it 4 pounds, 6 ounces. It'll still be the same price. So don't ask me how it works that way. I don't know the dynamics as far as that part goes. Again, it could all be boiled down to the geographic area, or it's just the way the system has it noted. That's the way the post office system works. I don't know. But you'll know, experiment. You'll see what I'm talking about one day. And the other thing is, put your dimensions in, folks. Seriously, put your dimensions in. If you don't have an idea of what, let's say you don't have the packaging, another little tip, get yourself one of these here tape measures. Now, this keyboard, right, I don't have a custom box for this here. I mean, a box already made for this here. So what you're going to do is, this is why I like the split screen, because you can see I can't hold up every time. What you're going to do is, you're going to measure it out. The keyboard alone is 19 inches. 19 inches from end to end here, okay? My rule of thumb is an inch on each side when it comes to packaging. Now, some people say, an inch? Hey, an inch of padding. If an inch of padding is not going to protect that particular peripheral, then you know it's being mishandled at whatever carrier you use, and they're mishandling it. Okay? So this is 19 inches. So the box I would probably get would be, to be on the safe side, 22 inches long. Giving it take a little extra. I always like to say put an inch around, because when it comes to the packaging, you want that inch around to protect the thing in case it gets jostled around. Okay. Now when you say, okay, what about the width? Well, you're going to go with the highest part, the widest part. Okay. Let's say again, the widest part. I'm going to go with the widest part here. Again, with my tape measure to the edge, roughly, if you round it off, round it off on the widest part, it's 10. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make it 12. Okay. So now you got 22 inches by 12, and as far as well, what's the width going to be? Well, simple enough. It's very thin. I would just round it off to 3. Okay, so I'll get 22. Okay, this is a custom-made box that I'm going to be making. Well, now I got it all sold out for this and the receiver, so I might have to be a little bigger. And that's the other thing too. Let me pull this out. That's another thing too. When it comes to packaging, how are you going to package this here? Seriously. You don't want to leave it. You don't want to leave them on top of it. You put cardboard. You don't want to leave it like that. So now you're going to have to do something like this. Let me get the tape measure. You're going to do something like this now. You see what I'm saying? Can you see that? You're going to have it where you got the mouse and the keyboard, the mouse and the receiver this way, and then you got all the wiring. So you got to allow for that. Okay. So again, if that's the case, which I should really do it right now. Again, now instead of 22, and that's just for the keyboard. Now when you're adding the mouse, okay, you're adding the mouse with the receiver, okay, so now that becomes, instead of 22, I would say about 25. 22, I'd say 25, giving some more packaging for the mouse to include it there. Okay, that'll go in a separate box. Okay, that's how I do it. When I ship this stuff out, the mouse and the receiver will be, I'll make a custom box for that alone, place it adjacent to the keyboard, and that's it. And the same thing, again, you got to also allow, now the box is going to be a little wider, let's say I said it was 12. Now with the mouse in there, so 12, and then you got that. I would say now the box would have to be 14 inches, because now I got to allow for this way. Still, because now the mouse and that's taking space up. So that's how you would do it. And when you're doing it, put those dimensions in, because I'm serious. Again, try it for yourself and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you leave that blank and you're making a custom box, when you, like, let's say you're doing it on a fly, and once you put those dimensions in, you're going to notice when you click the button there to update it, you're going to notice a difference in price, folks. Experiment, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about if you don't put the dimensions in. If you leave those blank, if you leave your dimensions blank when you're doing your listings, and then you're getting ready to print your postage out, and then you put after you do it, let's say, and then you put your dimensions in there, watch how much the price goes up. Watch how much. And the other thing, here's the other tip I will share with you guys. When that happens, hit the compare all prices, with the other carriers are doing, what they're offering, and 9 out of 10, not 100%, but you will get usually a cheaper price from FedEx and UPS. And how do I know this? Because it happened to me. Seriously, when you begin into this business, you're going to learn all these little tips and tricks. You're going to see what I'm talking about, folks. Believe me, you're going to experience it. You're going to say, hey, I know what that guy's talking about. Now I see what he's referring to. You'll see the dimensions. And that's how, if you don't do it, you could shortchange yourself on the postage, or it's very unprofessional to contact the buyer and say, listen, I didn't put the dimensions in and the postage went up from $5 to $10. It all depends, because you know how I look at it? You're the seller. You should know better. Why do I have to pick up now for that day for your mistake? You may have a buyer and say, okay, it's understandable, and they'll go along with it and say, okay, no, I'll give you the additional $5. Don't put yourself in a situation like that. It doesn't look professional, especially if you're trying to make a business out of this here. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you, folks. I put out this information not to hinder your business or to hurt in any way. I do it to help. I call it His Initiative, to help, inspire, and share. And I don't mind sharing this information with you guys. Some people may say, well, you're giving all the secrets away. Well, secrets? What secrets? I want to help people out, right? What's the big deal? I don't mind sharing this information with you guys. Well, what's the big deal? I teach you. I'm giving you ideas of how I clean my stuff, how I prep it. What's the big deal? I like helping people. I don't like helping people. I love helping people, and I'm going to continue to do it on this channel, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, I'm gonna share information. I'm gonna keep, whenever I come across something, a tip to help people become better sellers, and to be, and to make their life a little, easier and stuff like that, to do things to, dress up their products if there's something wrong with them, whatever. I'm gonna put out that information. I don't mind, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And that's what my YouTube channel is all about. That's why I call it His Initiative: help, inspire, and share. All right. I want to make sure there's no dust on here. Yeah, so this, if you guys are interested in this keyboard, no, there will not be, again, I just went over the whole show with you, there will be no batteries included with it. Give it time. If you want to check back my eBay listings, if you want to look me up on eBay, my eBay user ID is shop-rjpasini-4-great-deals. Okay, you can check me out. Matter of fact, we'll go over there. Well, let's see, you got the wrong. Disconnected the mouse. This is my Logitech mouse. Let's see here. Just go over here, and this is my eBay listings right here. My sells. Let's see if anybody's up there. This is my story, quick. Okay. Just to share it with you guys. And whenever you're doing, if you have a store, always do the gallery view, because they put the stuff side by side. And this is some of the stuff I have right now on eBay, just to share it with you guys. But don't go away just yet. I want to show you the other thing really quick. I'm going to pause this video and show you. But this is the stuff I have. As you can see, I have a Logitech keyboard, something similar to mine. This same one, 510. I also have another one that comes with the receiver. The receiver is a little thing over here. Yeah, this is the stuff I have here. Okay. Here's another Logitech mouse and combo with the receiver, if you're interested in that. This one's going to be up there, updated, of course. Okay, I'm just showing this stuff really quick. You can check me out when you get a chance. I only got 3. I'm not a high volume seller. Even though I've been on eBay for over 20 years, I'm not a high volume seller. But I would like to become a high volume seller, you know. But as time goes on, we'll see. What you see is USB notebook. This is a notebook receiver for a wireless mouse. This will not connect. Don't buy something like this to try to connect. I tried it. It will not work. That's for a Microsoft mouse that has it where that comes connected with the mouse. You pop it off and you put it in there. That will not work with this here. If you have a mouse, the Microsoft mouse, the 1051 USB notebook mouse receiver, I mean, that's for the wireless mouse, the mouse 3000. That'll work for it if you have a bad receiver. Okay, just letting you know about that. So people might buy it and say, oh, maybe I could use that. You can't. It won't work. Not for this stuff. Okay. Here's another one, a Logitech wireless receiver. This is a different type of model. This is the S520. The other one was the S10, 510. Okay. Here's Microsoft. Here's a wired keyboard right here. Now, I was just thinking, here we go. I'm going to update this one. Now I'm going to add this mouse. Here we go. I'm going to add this mouse to it, but I have to put, it's a PS2. They have to get the PS2 connect. So that'll be updated as well. Perfect. I could sell the mouse separate, but I'm going to keep it as a, why not have the mouse and keyboard, right? So that'll be updated. Let's see, we got, oh, I keep touching the wrong mouse here. Too many mouses around here. That's another one. Now I can update that one. Okay, I think I did this one, right? We did this here. Yeah, here's some more stuff. This one here is a Logitech one. It's being sold for parts not working. Can't get it to work. That's why I said buying untested items. There you go. Am I back to here? I'm back to here again. Okay. Let me get to the last page here. We already seen this here. Yep. Okay. So we got to update that one. Here's the last page, number 3, and this is what I got here. And you can see I got an Apple wired keyboard mouse, USB. Really nice. Works nice. I tell you, I like that keyboard. Really thin and slim. Woo! It's so nice when you type the keys in there. Really nice keyboard, really clean and everything. Yeah, that works nice. That is a nice one. Let's see what else. Here's that keyboard. There it is. See? Now people say, well, how much more are you going to charge? I got to see. Maybe $10 more. It depends. I got to see. I got to price it out. I got to do my research. This is the radio I just showed you, the Dream Machine. This is up on eBay, and here I put this up to a vintage Presto coffee pot. That went up this morning. These two went up this morning, just to let you know. Okay? And if you want to look me up, just look for Shop RJ Pasini Great Deals. Here is my user ID, Shop-RJ Pasini-4-Great Deals. I put the dash because I didn't want to keep it one long word. You know what I'm saying? To look at what is it, you know? All right. Let me bump out of here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna show you when it comes to looking up the items the proper way with sold, not the listed. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to bump out of here and I'm going to come back. I'm going to hook up my do a screen share with my iPhone and show you when you're in a store how to look it up. So please don't go anywhere. It's the last part of it, and then we're done. So just stick around, please. Okay, we made it to the last part of the video. I hope you guys can stick around to this very end right here. Okay, you're in a thrift store and you want to look something up, right? What you're going to do is you're going to go to your app here, click it on, and I'm going to type in, I'm not really quick at typing, but I'm going to type in over here and do a search, and I'm going to type in HP, as I always do as an example, HP 7520 printer. That's what I have. Let's go over here, 7520 printer. I'm going to click that on. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this here, folks, is because sometimes us as sellers, or if you're a newbie seller, like you're just starting off, you may be in a thrift store, you may see something like this. Actually, that's a good price. If there's nothing wrong with it, it's a good price. Okay, what you want to do is, this is all fine and Jim Dandy and everything, right? To look at that there. You want to do is when you're looking up an item like this here, whoops, let me go back. You want to scroll and see what other people are selling for. Now here's a guy selling for $269. Here's another one to $85.46. Here's another one for, that's his display panel, the LCD thing, right? And here's one for $124. Here's one for $349. $150, $289, and those are all sound great. But you got to understand something, folks. These are what people like you and I, we probably did our research most likely, and we decided, hey, this is what we want. This is what we want to ask for it because we did our research. We felt it's worth it, and so on and so forth. what you want to do is when you scroll down and you get to that little sign where it says filter, click it on, right? And scroll up a little. And on here where it says show more, you want to click that on. What you want to look at here is what it actually sold for. Okay, what these things are actually selling for, because it doesn't matter, folks, what people are putting on there. I could say for a 7520 printer, I could say I want $400 for it. Am I going to get it? No. I want an actual idea of what these items sell for. So what you're going to do is, it shows 297 results. What you want to do is, when you scroll down here where it says free returns, returns accepted, so on and so forth, you're going to see completed items and sold items. Now when you click, I'm just going to hit the sold item, right? The ones for sold. And automatically completed listings are going to show too. See? I didn't touch both of them. The auto automatically kicked in. Now, you notice before it was like, what, 200 and something results? Now, it's showing you, because they're sold, 184. So you're going to click that on, and now you get an idea of what these things are selling for. Okay? Now, some people may basically say, well, you can't go for that because the guy's selling for $200 and something, and this guy's selling for 100. He may have taken the price, price difference and stuff. He might have gave it a discount, whatever. But the whole premise behind this, folks, is to give you an idea of what these items are selling for. So let's scroll. So this one here is sold for 100. This guy sold it for $139. All right. And I think that's the only ones. I saw the 100. As far as the 184 results, they're probably for toner cartridges or ink cartridges. Let's see if there's any more. Okay, this guy's selling for $89.99. He's got one bid. All right. And this guy sold it for $74 and change. That's a different model. And that's another thing too. Whenever you're looking at these sold items, look at the models, because these might not be here. For example, this one for $74.95, it's the HP 5520. Okay, so you got to really take note of what's going on here. The rest is probably going to be like an HP control thing there, panel. He got another one over here, PhotoSmart printer, duplexer. Okay, that's for $18 and change, but that I think is for that printer. I think, I don't know. I'm not going to click them all on. You could explore with this, folks. Like I said before earlier, my job on my YouTube channel is to put this information out there, and hopefully you guys will get a takeaway from it and use it to your advantage. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm showing you this stuff here is to give you just an idea, a very basic idea of what these things are actually selling for. Okay? So the thing I'm trying to say is, don't always go back when you're doing your search in a regular window and you're seeing, oh, this guy's selling for $300-$400. That's what I could sell it for. Go to the sold listings, and that's when you'll actually see what these things are selling for. Okay? It's just to give you a ballpark figure. Now, I know some people may beg to differ and say, yeah, but you know what? The guy who sold it for, this could have been the guy that was selling it for, I don't know, $150, and he decided to take it for $100. I don't know. There's a lot of variables with it in some cases. But for the most part, it gives you a ballpark figure on what to sell your item for if you were going to sell something like this. It gives you an idea of what they're selling for. Okay? So you see, now, if someone was to say, like me personally, was going to sell my printer, and I'd say, well, what would you price your printer? Which I do. I have it right over there, the 7520 printer. What would I price it at? Well, I would look at it. Between $139, $100, $139, I would probably keep mine at that price range. Or if I want to undercut it, then I can go a little cheaper. But I don't want to do that. I would probably keep it in comparison with that person at the bottom, especially if it's in really good condition. Okay? So this is just to give you an idea of what the item is selling for. Okay? Listen, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know that video is long. I know this is even going to be a little add to it, but I have to share it with you guys. Please take what I give you and use it. Take this information and use it again. Like I said, to the best of your, to take advantage of it is what I'm saying. Use it to the best of your ability. And if you get a takeaway from any of the videos I put out, you like the information I put out, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And I do hope you get a takeaway from it. That is the most important thing, folks. In any of these videos I produce, it's that you guys get a takeaway. You come away with something. Say, hey, you know something? I got something out of that video. I really don't want to be a waste of your time. I don't want to waste your time, guys. I know you're busy, especially if you're a newbie, or let's say you are an avid seller. You got things to do. Look, it's going on 6 o'clock over here. I didn't even eat dinner. I skipped lunch, and I'm going to just go jump to dinner because I was working on this, and I was doing some photos and stuff. I just listed a whole bunch of other things up there on eBay. So yeah, I got done with that there. I had to come back here. I had to pause what I was doing, and this is the continuation of that video that I did earlier. You know, for this, the first part of this here. So I really hope you guys get a takeaway from it. If you like this video, any of my videos, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated when I post new videos, please hit that bell notification icon. My name is Rich Pasini. Today is August 14th, 2021. Thank you again for taking the time. My screen just went blank over here on my phone. All I want to say is have a great weekend. And then lastly, if you are thinking about selling on eBay or you are a seller on eBay, I am wishing you guys all the best in sales. Until next time, bye-bye for now.